Guys, what am I seeing? Is Goblin getting the old Giants treatment and being nerfed to oblivion? Well, today I have some good news for you and I have some bad news for you. So we'll go through the changes and new things that have been made for the upcoming update on the test server since I made the original video about it, which, in case you missed it, is linked in the description. Watch that first. So we'll go through the changes and also a little bit of my thoughts about the new heroes, for example. And keep in mind, this is all still on the test server. It's not live yet, so any changes are possible. And in some cases maybe even preferred, but we'll go through that all just now. And I believe we can start with the good stuff first. So regarding dragons, so originally for this update, some dragons like Bone Dragon and Ancient Dragon were considered flying units, and heroes like Sarah and Worm were not able to damage them in the test server in this update, and that turned out to be a, well, either a bug or at least it got fixed or changed in a way that the dragons are all now considered both flying and ground. So that means Sarah and Worm can now hit the dragon and make damage again. And that means our dragon hunting builds are safe, so that is extremely good news. Right now, extra damage to flying monsters from L and E tier items or from the skill tree is not working against the dragons, even though they are flying. But there's a good chance that that will be added before the update goes live. The developer told me that he will make it work, but we'll have to wait for him to actually make it in the code that it actually works. Right now it doesn't work, but it kind of would make sense to work since they are flying. It would be kind of weird if flying damage does not work against flying enemies, right? Also, regarding the U items, the new unique items being reverted to level plus 50 in the update, it turned out to be a bug, so now they are just normal level 100 items, which means that the U lines, the unique lines, are stronger and more desirable. Although, given how extremely tough the dragon is to beat, they are quite niche for maybe really end game users rather than a common thing to be used, but we'll have to see. But right now, the items go to level plus 100 and that's nice. And then this thing is completely new, so all the red orbs in the game right now, they will have a base cooldown of 25 seconds instead of the flat 10 seconds they have right now, but they will be affected by your cooldown skill level +1 lines and also your cooldown lines on the unit that you use that orb on. And also when you use the orb on a hero like Military Bandit here, for example, the orb will be now listed as a skill for the hero, which I think is a really cool thing, and it really makes it easy to know that you actually have the orb and the skill on that hero. So right now, this is the cooldown I can get with a max CDE, like so 25 CDE items and 1 rune in my build. So that will be 10.77 seconds. So close to the original or the current flat 10 seconds that we have right now. And if we change the cooldown items for this unit, so if we change to like, well, double cooldown items for both item slots, then you can make the cooldown to be lower. So for example, in here it would be 5.5 seconds instead of the, well, 10 that we have currently right now. So this is a completely new thing that they are changed to be shown in here and also be affected by cooldown lines. And now before we address the, well, elephant in the room, which would be Goblin, I have really enjoyed using a cloud phone to keep my alt account grinding waves 24/7 in the cloud without me having to worry about it at all. And, well, if you want to try out that for yourself, here's the sponsor of today's video, LDCloud. LDCloud is a cloud phone service that allows you to run the game directly on your PC or your mobile device without actually using the hardware resources of your device. You can run multiple devices on the same account and access them all anytime you want, anywhere you are. And why this is so handy for casual players such as me or you is that even if you close your phone or you close your PC, your casual will still be running 24/7 in the cloud. So that means you don't necessarily need a spare phone in order to play the game. You don't have to worry about your phone overheating and exploding overnight when you are keeping it on charger in order to keep the game running. LDCloud offers flexible spending plans tailored for your needs, and I currently have the KVIP package in here connected to the Netherlands server, and I'm running the Android 10 in here. Register using my link found in the description and you can get your first 6 hours of trial for as little as 10 cents, as well as a 20% off for a 30-day plan for Android 12 and 14 devices. And then, well, the Goblin issue. So, in the recent changes for this update, this line dropped. So, the TNT base damage value for Goblin will get changed from 150% to 300%, and his base attack will be lowered from 50 to 20. So overall, this, well, it looks kind of a balance, but it leads into a damage drop. And also it leads into a fact where area skill damage lines will be less effective on him and TNT rune will be less effective on him compared to before because of the higher base value of the TNTs, the skill's damage. Now, if you saw my previous video about using Goblin with area skill damage lines in the beta, so after the update, the damage results look like this. And now with these chains, with the same items and the same setup and everything, the damage looks like this. So it's a huge drop. It's a drastical drop in terms of damage output for Goblin. And well, I get it. Goblin was or is currently the strongest AoE unit in the game. So maybe a slight nerf is warranted, but maybe also why not boosting the other units to be closer to Goblin level? I don't know. Doesn't really have to be that high and huge nerf. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. What do you think about that? I think it's a little bit of a drastical nerf to Goblin's performance. But yeah, as you can see, there was a defeat in there. I can usually still beat the waves with Goblin, even with this, but the damage is so much lower. So I think we have to, if this goes through like this, we have to go maybe and think about the alternatives again. So I guess for the next video, it's time to dig out good old Poseidon and see if I can run that on my account. And well, if you have ideas, let me know in the comment section as well. But that is the reason why Goblin's damage output is now much lower than it is currently on the live server and what it currently will be in the update as well than what it previously was. And you still will need the new items for Goblin. The area skill damage lines are still stronger than the old just pure critical items that we went through in the previous video. So if you use the old items, the damage output is even worse. So you still need the area skill damage items, but the effect of them is now lower than what it was before. Oh, and also, well, Assassin's Deep Assassin promotion got added back, so now Assassin has all 3 promotions, so Dark, Deep, and Trap Assassin, so no removals, just a new promotion. But so, what do I think about this update? Well, all in all, even with the Goblin nerf, I still look at this update in a very positive light. It's much bigger than anticipated, and I think there's still a chance that a lot of new things will be added to the test server before this update goes live, so there's a chance it will keep on becoming even bigger update, but we'll have to wait and see for that to happen. About the new heroes, well, Viper as a leader seems to be completely useless right now, just garbage tier, because he doesn't do really anything, and Ignis is, well, mid-tier, I would say, probably, with these testings, but Tinker right now seems to be the most interesting out of these new units, and if Tinker goes through unchanged, he can be a really viable choice and a really strong choice for certain builds at least. He has a tremendously strong burst damage. Like, his skill is always tied to the Pure Visage skill, because his skill maxes out at 10 seconds, so he will always be tied to Pure Visage casting. So if you can get a good casting when the bosses arrive at the end of the wave, you can deal a huge amount of boss damage. You can basically annihilate the bosses with Tinker. But if you get a bad proc when the bosses come, Tinker will do, well, basically absolutely nothing. So he's really on and off hero. The burst damage is there, but it's slightly unreliable. Well, you have to be relying on Pure Visage cooldown for him to work. So the lower Pure Visage cooldown is, the better Tinker will most likely, or more consistent he will be. But he seems to be the strongest unit out of these 3 for now. But well, we'll have to keep on seeing how things evolve and what changes are made for this update before it goes live. What do you think? What would you like to see or change? Let me know in the comment section. As soon as there's something worthwhile to tell, I will make another post, another video, and keep you informed. So I will see you in that, and well, we'll try Poseidon next time, I'm pretty sure, so I will see you during that video as well. Thank you very much for watching for now. I will see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.